What's up? Welcome. You are here at the Ven-Vamos Podcast. First time ever we're doing it. Welcome. I am your host, Nadir. And the simple fact that you're here, honestly, initially, maybe, if in 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, whatever, the internet's really cool. It allows us to live forever. Okay, that's also been a problem our day and age, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. Ven-Vamos, Hispanic roots. I'm Cuban. My name is Nadir. I don't know if the order of that necessarily signifies anything, but regardless, that's what I am. That's who I am. I came here to the United States. That's here when I was 3 years old. I was born in Cuba. My parents, they won a lottery. In Spanish, it's una loto visa. Okay, that's how they call it. And we came over. They brought me. I had no clue what was going on. I was 3.5 at the time. And yeah, they were like, yo, we're going to give you a new life. And a new life they gave me. And I'm not going to lie, if it weren't for me being in the United States and, going to this public education, then going to college, and then, I recently graduated from Florida International University, a political science major. I know it's a political podcast. Hopefully you guys got that. I did not, open up with political podcast, but it touches a little bit of everything right now. Ven-Vamos, come, let's go. Alrighty, so if you don't speak Spanish, ven means come, like, oh, let's go. Vamos, means let's leave, let's go. So come, let's go. Ven-Vamos. I mean, it could be like a chant. It's really more like a battle cry. I feel like I see it, if you've seen the Avengers, that's kind of how like the vibe is. It's like just a bunch of people just coming together and being like, yo, that's not cool. Let's run it. Let's do something. Okay. I do have a lot of hip hop influences when I grew up. I definitely grew up in different neighborhoods. I've been to 14 different schools before I got to college. 10 of those were elementary schools because my parents were always moving so much. But it was always because we were changing environments. They were getting better. The second week that my dad, started working, which might have been like a month into us being in the United States, he had no knowledge of what a bank account was, how to like deposit your money, how to put it in, or things like that. And he took all of his cash out from a check he received from the work he did, and it was like $700. He was like, oh, I got to take out the check, take out the cash, to then put it in my account without knowing that the deposit just goes straight into your thing. So I think he just gave it to the teller, and he got cash for it. He leaves the cash on the counter, and then the $700 are gone. And that was, I think, like the 4th week into this country, and that broke his heart. And, I mean, he learned a lesson, and I don't know, man. But what that story has to do with Ven-Vamos is really that, like, no matter from where you come from, you can always keep growing, and it's about educating yourself. Really hearing unbiased, unfiltered opinions from local leaders, local people here in Miami. Hopefully the internet spreads this to across the whole world, and they're like, yo, listen to this one Cuban dude that's spinning, rocking on this chair right now with a Florida logo on his shirt. That'd be cool. And if it's not, that's fine. But the people who are listening, who are watching, the whole premise of this is for you to further your education, further see what it is that Miami has to offer, whether that is in the intellectual side of things, which we will focus a lot on. We're going to have people like scientists. We're going to have like nonprofit organizers. We're going to have elected officials. We're going to have people who are professionals, people who are vegans. Veganism is cool. I just like to interject that right now. I've tried it for this year in 2019, and it's been pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm more like a half vegan. All right, it's like I'll eat a vegan meal once, and, just initially, that's just less calories and it's better for you. But we'll have somebody we'll be like, yo, veganism's cool, okay? And we'll try to convince you of it. I will never tell you what to do. I will never tell you what you should think. I'll never tell you why you should think it, because at the end of the day, I can't even understand some of the things I think. And that's, I think, growing as a person, even when you're like 50. And I think some of the elected officials will tell you that, like, growing doesn't ever stop, And if they can do it, we can do it. If we can do it, anyone can do it. I think what is tragic, though, is when people, by disposition, like their environment in which they live in, hurts them. So when you look at countries like Venezuela, Cuba, like, and just any country that has like humanitarian rights violations, I know we just completely switched the tone of the podcast. 100%. It will not follow an erratic format. This is the first episode. If you're still listening, thank you. I appreciate it. And hopefully I get better at this. Thank you. What? Hit that thumbs up. I look like a thumb. I don't know if you've seen my previous work in Spy Kids, but yeah, I used to be the thumb in Spy Kids. This is Javi. You can't really see him, but Javi, just say something to the people real quick.
Just stay foolish, stay hungry.
Stay foolish, stay hungry. Javi's a philosophy major at FIU as well. And he's getting a minor in what?
Beverage management.
Beverage management. Alrighty. So what are the goals with that, Javi?
So my dad owns a cigar shop. I think it has the beer and wine industries, specifically craft beer and wine, have a lot of similarities with the cigar industry. So I think I could learn some stuff about how to manage a cigar shop, a cigar brand, market that brand, but still staying within the confines of like being a fine wine or craft beer.
For sure. Okay, so see that, guys? That's Javi's dream. I'll tell you my dream.
I don't know if that's my dream.
That's not your dream? Okay, that's Javi's at least goal, right?
Oh, it's what I'm studying right
It's what you're studying right now, so what's the goal to that?
Oof.
Oof.
The goal? To be happy, man.
To be happy. Alrighty, for sure. So listen, if you're not happy right now, I hope that you could find some happiness in the knowledge that you'd gain in this podcast. But really, I'd ask you to look inside yourself, right? Happiness is something that is, I think, progressive in terms of what you are doing with your life. What I'm doing with my life right now is I want to spread a good word. I want people to know that, A, they have options, they have resources, but more importantly, just build a conversation behind the things that some people just feel is a little too sensitive, right? So when we see on the news all of this hate, all the attacks, all the just negative things that you're filtered, like if we put it on a spectrum of negativity to positivity that you see on the news, dude, it's like 90 to like hopefully 10. Even if like there's a news station that 10% of the time is putting like something positive, and that regardless of the news, dude, we want this to be unbiased, unfiltered. You're going to see it here. We're not going to edit it. They're going to sit. They're going to talk. Whoever they are, they're going to sit in that chair over there, okay? And I'm going to ask them questions and just see what they think about, and you can learn from them directly. Hopefully their position, just what they're saying, how they're saying it will just show you that they're really, A, passionate about whatever the topic might be, but B, what they're trying to say to you. You know, so share this with your friends, with your buddies, people that know me, please support me. I'm asking you to bless me, the podcast, and the movement Ven-Vamos. It means come, let's go. Alrighty. All of us have a say in what the future, everything. Everybody can say it. I understand that, it's a little tiresome. And when you get, when you don't get what you want, you get fatigued. You're like, bro, this sucks. So then imagine the guy that's been like, bro, this sucks for like 40 years off of the voting. And then at the end of it, he's like, bro, this really sucks. He goes and has kids, and now the kids are like, bro, this sucks. And that's like life. And that kind of has happened generationally. And I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones, but when we used to be like them, not riding dragons, but like killing each other with swords and stuff. Yo, season 8's coming out. I don't watch it. It's gonna be good. But I do watch it. What? I mean, I have a dog. Yeah. So look, I have 2 huskies, and if they could be big enough where I could like ride them, maybe not in Miami. I might get views if I did that. Or PETA called on me. I don't know. PETA, if you're listening, please come here. We want to understand the tweets. We don't get it. Why are you going after Steve Darwin? That's who he is. Steve Irwin, not Darwin. Charles Darwin, though, created evolution. Steve Irwin, stingrays. Yes. Something that we have in common, Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, or just at least a little bit of backlash from not knowing that guy's name offhand. I'm a little nervous, guys. This is the first time I do this. But yeah, Steve Irwin, we have something in common. He doesn't like stingrays, okay? We don't like stingrays.
Oh, yes.
So if you're from Miami High, in the area, it's no heat. You guys lose the football all the time. And Columbus, we love you. Not really. No, we don't. Nah, but Where was I going with that?
Because we're Gables graduates.
We're Gables graduates. That's why it makes sense. If you're not from Miami, you're like, these guys just wasted 3 minutes of my time on an extended metaphor I didn't get. But if you're from the community, please shout out your school. Leave in the comments what school you guys went to. Connect with each other. I'm class of 2015, so is Javi. But honestly, we've had people from all different ages come, be a part of the movement, work on the campaigns. Oh, so the campaigns. Boom. I think that we could talk about the campaigns, right? Okay, guys, so this is what Ven-Vamos started as. It was an opportunity out of defeat. We started in 2017 with a gentleman named Alfie Leon. This guy wanted to be a commissioner. He was a young one, all right? And I mean, with youngness, one of two things happens. It's either like you're young and you don't have money, and you need money to win in politics. I'll tell you that right now. And it's not even because of it's just that things cost money and they're expensive. Like, how do you print flyers? How do you print T-shirts? How do you print anything? Not even print. How do you develop a message? How do you know exactly what to say, when to say it? Who do you get your information from? It's very information sensitive, and but I'll tell you one thing that everybody knows and nobody wants to pay attention to, and that's you, the viewer, but hopefully the voter, okay? And that's pretty much what Ven-Vamos is. We are putting all of our attention on people who vote, but more importantly, people in the community, regardless of, voting doesn't matter, but the message comes across as we want to make change. We want to be the engine that fuels this change. We can accelerate it because we're just communicating it to different people. So one of the campaigns was for this gentleman to be a commissioner. His ideas, and I'll tell you this right now, are robust. They're 21st century. One of the things that will immediately have impacted the people of District 3 was the dog park idea that we had, which was as a community, people that just if you look at other communities in Miami-Dade that had dog parks like Coconut Grove, Coral Gables. I'm not to say there's a correlation between dog parks and flourishing and stuff, but it's just a quality of life. And quality of life has always been a topic that people don't realize. And so in places like Little Havana, where you have construction that has taken about 5 years hurting local businesses, right? That's not good quality of life because they can't even develop it on a good economic basis. It's just not happening in that area. Thank God now, a little bit later after that 2017 election, do you know if it's done yet or if it's
the construction?
Yeah, on Flagler. There's a restaurant there. It's called the Duco's. Oh my God, is that place lit? I'll tell you that right now.
The vegan place?
It's not vegan. They do have a mean vegan burger that they just released for Wednesdays. I don't know if you've had it yet. My girlfriend actually is a vegan. Her best friend's a vegan. That's kind of why I became this half vegan. I can't be fully vegan yet. They have superpowers. They can fly. They can, her third eye is always open. So that's what happens when you don't eat meat, guys. I'll tell you that right now. It's the cruelty-freeness of it. But more importantly, Aduco's is a really cool restaurant, dude. That's where we had our camp. Fast forwarding so I could tie it all in. Alfie's campaign, that's how he went to Aduco's. And the feeling of just being in Aduco's, winning the primary. So you have to understand, guys, winning an election against somebody who has a ridiculous amount of money against you, who when you have 9 people in a race to even get the runoff, which is when, 2 people win, because you need to win by a majority. Somebody needs over 50% plus 1. So in the case of 9, we were the 2 because number 1, Mr. Big Bad Dude with big money had it. You guys could do the research. I don't want to name drop. No, he'll sue me. But moving on, we were able to secure that second seat, and that was done when I tell you with a group of kids. I use very, very lightly because there were so much more than just kids. They were people who were actually concerned. They're 14 to 15 to 16 up to college. I was in college at the time, but we went back to our alma mater, Coral Gables, and a lot of people just resonated with the idea of making change in their communities. A lot of the kids, a lot of the volunteers, they just stayed in the area and they were like, yo, it really does suck, man. And they polled us in January of 2017, and they said we would win by 2%. Not win, that we would get 2% of the vote. After that primary, and the end of it, we lost. Just spill the beans there. We lost. We got 48% of the vote. We did lose 100%. That is an L, I will say, and I'm not trying to take away an L. And in politics, W's and L's really matter. It's kind of like the NBA. Bro, how lit are you? You know what I mean? If you have dubs, then you're in. If you have L's, then I don't know why you got L's, huh? It's like, yo, you suck. So we're trying to be, our movement is trying to be behind people who are fresh-faced candidates who want to make a positive change, who do not have a bad ethical background, people who, they're very Miami, people whose story people can resonate with at the end of the day. And it's not even about party affiliation. It's really about the issues. So many people get stifled by a party, bro. Like, you don't have, sorry about that. See, it came out. My apologies. Hopefully, when we talk to more, professional people, I want to be a professional one day. Maybe a lawyer. I don't know. Maybe I'll run for office. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, guys. But regardless of what it is, I do want to be professional. But that Miami bro is so strong in me, and I think a lot of you can relate. If you've ever said bro in a professional setting, guys, drop a comment below. Tell a story about it, please. Let us know. I want to hear that story. But I go off on tangents. Oh my God. I got to stop tangenting so hard. I am freestyling this, guys. Like, before we did have a trial run, I did have a paper, but honestly, I feel like I'm not being authentic enough with you. We've done this podcast, a couple trial and errors, and I'll tell you, we get better every time at it. I don't know if you guys know, but I was born in 1997. I still consider myself a 90s baby, even though, like, some people would be like, no, said the 1992 guy. They really enjoyed Nickelodeon. I don't know. Let's go to the top of that. Let's go back to Alfie. Guys, opportunity at defeat. Ven-Vamos came out of it, so we could just segue into it. I don't want to take too much time on it.
So what does Ven-Vamos do?
Oh, thank you, Javi, for the save. Ven-Vamos, dude. So we win campaigns. We influence. We get people elected. If you're an elected official who wants young professionals who can clearly articulate your message, if you haven't talked to us already, then honestly, you need to talk to us. Like, you need to be like, yo, what can I do to see who are the people in my area, okay? There's so many things that you as an aspiring elected official could do. One of the things that we did at Alfie that I wish we could, had funds, because sadly, things don't happen without money, guys. Like, we all know it. That's just the reality. One thing that we wanted to do was social responsibility, guys. I'll let you in on a little secret. If you, a brand, or anything that, just has a name recognition, something that people want to remember. Okay, I'm being very vague here. And if it's attributed to a philanthropy, a good cause, or just something that's beneficial to a collective or whatever the case is, then you know what? People will have a positive outlook on it. I think that we can safely assume that. Now, if you're like one of those things that has a negative outlook, like you're like, yo, we eat people, right? Cannibalism is like, nah, bro, I'm sorry. I don't eat people. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people share that. So in light, it's not to compare cannibalism to anything, but just, we get people elected.
How?
By eating the competition. No. But we do blow them out of the water with our hard work. I'll tell you that right now. Canvassing, we go door to door. I don't know if you guys have seen The Wolf of Wall Street. It's a great movie, not because of what they do, but I really do think the message. We train and we build people to be very good communicators. In college, I took a class called Rhetoric Arts. And I'll tell you, goodness, from a biblical stance, from just like who would you want to represent your values, or just anything like just like an outlook is to be positive. Miami historically is very hard to stay away from controversy, from things that elicit a negative response because of the game. It's a nasty game, dude. You imagine a game where everybody's trying to fight for, it's like the ultimate musical chairs, this political Miami vibe, I'll be honest. And then like, it's just a history in the city, dude. Like before I was born, the town's always been like predicated on international like communications. Like, there's such a huge Latin influence in Miami that's unlike, everybody knows it. Most people that are watching this, if not initially, are going to be Hispanic, but are also going to be people who lived in Miami. Like, I'm Cuban. Most of my friends are Cuban. If not Nicaragüense, Dominican, Peruvian, and a bunch of other countries I couldn't name because there's so many of them, But that influence, it's here. Damn, guys. What can I say? This is, guys, I'm running out of things to say only because I didn't write anything down. And I'm really trying to think of anything more that I could add just to the pilot. Here's what I will say. There are a lot of stories. If I didn't get to them now, we'll get to them later. And another thing, the idea is that you guys are also a part of this conversation. I wish that hopefully 1 million of you could be all here, but like the internet makes it possible so that you guys are here, virtually, not virtually, just whenever and whatever point in time. Like, I think that's the crazy part about technology. Like, just the point in time, like, dude, the internet's not going away. In like the year 3000, hopefully there will be some like even though they're very smart and they could navigate the internet at a young age, I don't think that's a good thing though.
Well, I think by the year 3000, Elon Musk says we'd be merged with the internet.
Like our literal psyche.
We'll have a chip implanted in our brain.
And that's the internet.
Yes.
But, bro, see, like, then cybersecurity is a big issue, bro. Because what if somebody hacks me, bro? I don't want nobody to hack me.
It's a concern.
That's a big concern. Cybersecurity is a real thing. I have one of my big sisters in the. I'm Greek. I don't know if you're Greek. Throw down your affiliation and be like, yo, we're here, we're doing it. But my big sister, her name is Simran, and she studies cybersecurity. And dude, like, everything needs to be secure. Okay, and I think that's a big problem in like politics, like the security stuff. Like, yo, we've seen it all the time in the news. It's like, yo, who's handling our stuff? Why are we doing it?
My money.
Who's handling my bread? Like the Great Depression, they were like, yo, yeah, we don't have your money. I'm sorry. What? What? Bitcoin. I don't know. You've been on that though.
I've been on it, yes. For
a minute, yeah. Okay. Look, watch the videos, learn something. I learn stuff when they talk. Whoever talks, I know Javi be learning. But then more importantly, we're going to turn that into, I know, so I act and I vote. And if you could build that repertoire, I'm telling you, so will your kids, and it's going to be slow. Like, we're in it for the long haul. That's exactly why we need to pass environmentally friendly acts. I don't think the Green Deal might cut it, if I'm being very honest. I think it's just not where it should be. And that's a phone. That's literally like, yo, stop it. But, yeah, we're going to stop it, guys. Look, we'll talk about the Green Deal later. Hey, you just sat through the whole podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe and comment what your favorite part was. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ven-Vamos. If you're listening to this on the audio version, give us a 5-star rating. Thank you and have a great day.